Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with another Starcraft 2 Alphastar cast, and this is gonna be a special one here today. For those of you unaware, on the channel, we broke 5,000 subscribers. We did it! I honestly didn't think we'd ever get that far. However, and I thought I'd want to do something a little bit special for, I thought I'd want to do something a little bit special to say thanks to you guys, and I know you guys lately have really been enjoying the Alphastar videos, so I thought, since we hit that milestone, since it's 5,000 subscribers, how about we cast a best of 5 Alphastar style? So let me set that, there we go, a best of 5. So it's going to be Alphastar or Humanity winning 5 games first, and we'll cast until one of them does. So a little bit of a longer video than usual. I was kind of mulling over what I thought I'd do for, like, thank you for 5,000 subs, but this channel, it really is about just simple StarCraft 2 casting, nothing like too flashy or anything like that. So I thought, alright, yeah, let's just do the usual, but a little bit more, since I know you guys really do enjoy the Alphastar videos. So right now we're going to be casting an Alphastar, one of the earlier supervised replays, as it's called, basically pretty much tied directly to how a human plays, to my knowledge. It's one of the lower, earlier versions of Alphastar, so it might be a little bit more derpy, and we already see the fact that it's opening double gateway versus a Diamond Terran. So that's a little bit interesting, seeing that already. But yeah, I thought let's just check out some Alphastar games. I thought since it's going to be a best of 5, we'll see how it's going to go in this. And we see the Diamond Terran player just going for a Reaper out behind this. And yeah, as I was thinking of, oh, look at that Reaper. Gonna get on, kill that probe. That's nice. Alphastar losing its probe already. Not a great start for Alphastar. I'm curious to see how it's opening up with a Protoss versus Protoss build, double gateway adept opening. Very much versus Protoss, not so much versus Terran. Then goes into a Stargate, so it's like Alphastar is playing PvP in this PvT right now, which is really curious. But yeah, as I was saying, I was mulling over ideas of what to do for, say, like, for a special, and I thought, alright, I could always do something a little bit different, but then the channel really is about just the commentary, and so at one point I thought, I'm gonna cast the very first replay that I cast in the past. However, unfortunately, Blizzard made it so replays that old 3 years ago when I started casting StarCraft anyway. I've had the YouTube channel a little bit longer than that. But yeah, 3 years ago when I started commentating, basically I cast a Ruff versus a guy called Odin is Back. And the summary of that is that I couldn't really load the replay, so I couldn't cast it because Blizzard basically broke the replays, so I was a little bit bummed out about that and thought, alright, I'll do 5 Alphastar, or a best of 5 Alphastar style. Now, we have an Oracle on the way for Alphastar. The Stargate's been spotted, though. These 2 Adepts are going to try and shade on in, but this is why Protoss doesn't ever open up 2 Adept versus Terran, or really even, yeah, really just why you don't open up 2 Adept versus Terran. Terrans have got pretty darn quick, or caught on pretty darn quickly how to stop Adepts. When Legacy of the Void first came out, when the Adept was first introduced, players sometimes just like straight up died to Adepts as they hallucinated into your base, but that's really not the case anymore. Now, we take a look here right now. Alphastar is actually going into mass Oracle, it seems. 3 Oracles before it moves out with any is a really curious build. I'm curious if it's going to go up to just 3, or whether it's going to go beyond that and say, like, make 5 or 6 and just aim for killing turrets and stuff. These Adepts might shade on up here. This is going to be bad news. No, they cancel. So this version of Alphastar does get up a natural base, but very much delayed here. And now it's got out these 3 Oracles, but it's building the 4th. Alphastar is just doing his thing this game. This AI never fails to deliver. A Viking is out to help try and counter this, but I mean, there's not that much anti-air, so is Alphastar so crazy that this just might work out? Of course it is. Alphastar throws up another Stargate. I was wondering, how derpy is the earlier versions of Alphastar, and this is really showing us how that's the case. One Adept runs in, of course, the follow-up Sentry moving behind it. This AI is just full dirt mode. The Adept might get an SCV. It does get the SCV, but the Sentry also dies. It's just straight up a bad time for Alphastar so far, yet it's up on supply, kind of curiously enough. This is just a Diamond player. I say just a Diamond. A Diamond player is like top 10, top 20% of StarCraft 2 players, which is no small feat in its own, I think. But as far as playing versus Alphastar, it usually plays versus GMs and stuff, so we are seeing it still just winning out with its macro, I think. The Diamond Terran was really scared. He's down on workers by 12. And considering how Alphastar went for a very delayed natural, that's kind of surprising. The Terran player scans this double Stargate, double scans as a matter of fact, and pretty much says, what on earth is that? Why is there double Stargate? How many oracles have you built? And the answer to that so far, Alphastar has gone up to 5 oracles, of course. It's building a 6, it's just doing its own thing. And yeah, we'll just see how this game's gonna go. So far, the Terran is just hurtling. He's full on panicking right now as he builds 3 missile turrets. He's got 2 turrets in his main, a Widow Mine there. So I think he's really reacting to this correctly, and he is getting up his own 3rd orbital. But once again, the macro still seems to be the main drawback. This Terran not building too many SCVs, really just focusing on getting up stuff. And Alphastar, oh, is it gonna go full sky toss here as a fleet beacon gets thrown on up? That is just downright dirty Alphastar. So yeah, let's take a look here. The Diamond Terran gonna be getting up all of his production and everything. So 5 racks play. This player seems to have a pretty good idea of what to do. Interestingly enough, he's making a single Hellbat, which is just a little bit odd. I'm wondering if that's a misclick or something, but I don't know enough to say so or not. Oh gosh, Alphastar. Of course, Alphastar. Gonna be going up to triple Tempest this game, and then it shades these Adepts in and then recalls them. Oh my gosh. Triple Tempest production versus this Terran. Now the scary thing is, I feel like this could actually be decent. Looks like Alphastar does clean up that Liberator, which is nice. I noticed that there's no proper explosions going on, so that graphical effect must be turned off on my PC. I will re-enable that for the next game, or try to. Sometimes my PC and I have disagreements. Now, Stim Pack on the way, Combat Shield on the way for the Terran. Very, very delayed, this Diamond Terran. He's just been so focused on trying to defend versus the odd build Alphastar is going for that he really has lapsed on his macro, including delaying his stim. He does have good upgrades, so he's already got his 1-1 done, and he's going into 2-2, but his 2-2 is gonna be similar time to his stim to his Combat Shield, which is not the usual, that's for sure. Army supply up for Alphastar, so it's just having a heyday, building Tempest for days. It decided, right, 7 oracles is enough. It's time to build some Tempest. Alphastar needs to queue up another Tempest there, keep that fun bus rolling. And then yeah, I mean, its macro just seems to be perfect pretty much still. Alphastar, like, it goes for odd builds, it delays its expansions, but at the end of the day, it does just seem to win out in the macro front versus the players at its level. So that seems to be what I'd say is one of the main factors, one of the main modifiers to how Alphastar plays, really, is just how well it consistently macros, and basically how much it can delay its macro with its odd builds. Like this game we saw was pretty extreme, how much it delayed its natural Nexus, but then it just macros out and seems to have a lead here. This Terran player is moving out with a lot of his Marines and a single Marauder and Hellbat, which could potentially get some damage done, but these Oracles are now crossing the map. They may run into a Widow Mine. Yes, they will, so that kind of hurts. The Oracle's going to actually get baited into the turrets a little bit. One of them goes down. The turret's putting in work, but I'm a little bit concerned right now for this Diamond Terran. If he goes in with just this bio, I think it's going to get shreked by this many Tempests. There is currently 8 Tempests out. 33 Marines may be able to beat that many Tempests, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And Alphastar micros, I think the answer is definitely not. The Marines are going to go for it, but there's Oracles in the mix too. The Oracles are going to get focused down, but these Marines are not going to have a chance right now. They're all just going to melt away, and Alphastar is going to destroy this Terran army, and as a result, this Terran right now is saying, ruh-roh, that's not okay. He took a bit of an anti-timing there, fighting before his 2-2 was done. He didn't get a single Tempest. He killed the Oracles, but not the Tempest, and now this is a big old Sky Toss army that the Terran has to deal with. Oh boy, this is not good for the Terran, and oh no, he's moving out once again. You don't want to send more boys out. You want to get those boys home. Yeah, it's a sad day to be those medevacs. This Terran player just needs to make mass Viking and mass Marines, I think, to beat this. And as we see more starports go up, he's definitely got the right idea, but whether he's got the right unit composition, I'm not 100% sure. Or not in time anyway. The right composition, yes. The amount, no. This Protoss player is looking to move on in right now. He's going to be glad the turrets will buy him some time. But this is still just so much Protoss right now. These extra starports are going to finish up if the Tempests are rolling on up. Turrets will buy a bit of time, but not that much. And with the Terran player going to be in trouble right now. I'm not sure what he can do. I mean, this is 13 Tempest out. There's currently 32 Marines, and the Marines are 2-2. So maybe there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance? Yes, I am. This is a lot of Tempest, but the Terran has 2-2. And I mean, 2-2 Marines will just massacre Tempest if they get on top of them. Looks like he's caught himself 3 of those Tempests. That's a nice start. Is Alphastar going to micro these correctly? It kind of is, but not really. It's actually going to recall the Diamond Terran. Did just kill like all the Tempests there, and that is a big victory for the Diamond player. Alphastar showing us how garbage Tempests really are versus Terran. If you're a Protoss and you're making Tempest, you need to have cannons to fall back to. You need to have High Templar or Disruptors or Colossus, anything really that makes it so they don't just die to Marines like we saw. And now this is just a straight up bad time here for Alphastar. It went for a derpy composition, but it's so far behind on upgrades now. It's gonna have to stop all these Marines somehow. And this is just not looking good. This is a lot of Marines here. The Nexus is gonna be under fire. The Terran player just says, right, I can't catch the Tempest right now, so I'm just gonna kill the Nexus. Gets the 4th. Not bad. Alphastar, by the way, this game, its macro is actually lacking a little bit. Up to 2,000 minerals in this iteration, showing that it does have multitasking limits here. These Marines now running on in towards the 3rd. They're going to start picking off a ton of Alphastar's probes, shutting down this mining location. And that's, the end of the day, just getting a solid W for humanity, for the Terran, I think. Straight up, not a good time here for Alphastar. These Marines working away. They're not getting too much done at this point. These Tempests should be able to clean them up. Carriers now in the mix too. But they did kill off the 3rd. They killed off the 4th. 4th base on the way here for the Diamond player. He's rebuilding one of these starports. Getting his 3-3 on the way. And he does just have enough bio. So yeah, Alphastar not having the best go of it. It's making carriers now, which are a much better choice, but they're a little bit too late, I feel. There's always a chance, though, but the fact that the Terran's heading into 3-3 is really nice. This bio is just going to be awesome. Fourth base on the way for the Terran here. Alphastar still just building carriers. I mean, once you get up to a good number of carriers, you can start taking really good trades. The Interceptors fare better versus Marines than Tempests do. They're not great, but they definitely are a lot better. I do apologize if I also sound a little bit nasally during these commentaries. Unfortunately, I think I am getting just a little bit sick here. I don't know if it's like sick or just a stuffy nose or what, but I thought, yeah, I gotta cast this anyway. It's coming up to Christmas. I gotta do these games in advance as much as I'd like to. I can't just sit at home playing Starcraft too much these days. as I'd really like to be honest with you. Now we see the Terran player says, alright, what's going on? I won the last fight, maybe I can win the next one. Alphastar still just building up carriers, up to 6 now. Loses his 4th base, so that kind of hurts. Another carrier is on the way, but Alphastar really running out of money now. Its economy has been knocked down, and it doesn't seem to be rebuilding it very well this game. Compared to the past, that is. Vikings, Marines, Marauders moving to the south. 5th on the way for the Terran. He was just getting up more barracks, doing the right thing. If I was the Terran right now in this position, I'd actually be a little bit worried about like Psystorm or something. But he's still got himself a pretty big lead. It would have to be some very nasty Psystorms. Alphastar really is just dragging this one out, but so is the Diamond Terran. We'll see if he's going to go for an attack. I'm pretty sure he's going to win the game. He just finished up his 3-3. Maybe now is his moment. Let's see, Alphastar. Building more carriers, that seems to be its answer. It's not getting any more attack upgrades for him. It just says, right, more and more carriers. Yeah. Looks like a shield battery, a sentry out. The sentry is a nice touch if it uses Guardian Shield. That'll really help out the carriers. But with Alphastar being on 3 bases right now, I'm a little bit concerned right now. These Marauders are going to run on in because the Terran player sees, like, yeah, there's really not a lot of point of me having Marauders versus mass carriers. So he's going to free up that supply. Probes and Zealots. Oh, there's the big fight. Uh-oh. Terran player decided to go on in. Carrier's going to fight the Marines, but these are 3-3 Marines. I don't know if there's a chance here for Alphastar. The Vikings are in the skies too. The Interceptors are doing okay, but the fact of the matter is that I think there's just too much Terran here. Oh, the Carriers, they could win this fight. A lot of units are going down for the Protoss player, though. The Terran taking pretty good trades. The 3-3 really showing there, but in the end, Alphastar does hang on. However, it's still only on 3 bases, so its economy is going to be running out now. And, looks like Alphastar going to go for an attack. A bit of a Hail Mary, just says, right, I got to win this game here and now, as the Terran player hopefully has some supply caught up in production. There seems to be a good amount of the Terran, though. Alphastar moving forward with this Tempest, completely derping, not microing those at all. Carriers are moving forward. Now they're going to get on top of these Marines. They're going to start working away, but he's losing too many of these carriers. Gonna try and micro them back, but so many Vikings are coming forward. And with this attack failing, I think Alphastar is done this game, and I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna put the 1 on the board for humanity, as Alphastar gets popped. Alright, that's game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. A complete derp from Alphastar, but we're going to check out another one of these earlier games. I thought, since I'm doing 5, I may as well make one of them be an earlier game. I'll do the second as an earlier game too, and then we'll move up to the next tier, and then the next tier of Alphastar agents. So, be back in a sec here. Okay, here we are in game number 2 of this best of 5 for Alphastar. I think this is probably gonna be the only Alphastar best of 5 that I'm gonna do. So, unless we hit like another sub-milestone goal, but I don't think that's gonna be for a while. Although, I haven't even mentioned it yet. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. Let's try and hit 5 likes for the best of 5. And yeah, of course, as I have been putting out this content pretty darn regularly, press that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. Although I think it would be kind of weird if you are watching like a 5,000 subscriber special and you aren't subscribed. You're just like, I'm just here for the Starcraft. But a lot of you guys are, and I understand that. So we take a look. Alphastar is going to be playing Terran and having its SCV harassed by this probe, this pesky probe. Is it going to kill that SCV? No, it's not. Just being a big old pain. He actually is getting kind of close. Alphastar. does lose the SCV. However, Alphastar does remedy that, so a probe for an SCV. I think that probably would tilt Alphastar if Alphastar was indeed breathing, but it's not. And we take a look here. Alphastar playing Terran versus a Diamond Protoss player. So we're having things reversed. I thought, all right, I want to see how derpy Alphastar's lower tier Terran is going to be for this game, and then for the next game we'll get into the higher tier of Alphastar. I'm not sure what race it'll be, but we shall see. Now, command center on the way for Alphastar already. So opening up very, very standard this game. We'll see how it's going to play. And the Protoss player starting up very standard. I think man, watching just these games is making me want to go play some Starcraft 2 myself. So I'm maybe gonna try and squeeze in a game or two after this cast, and then I'll probably be doing the Christmas video. I thought I'm gonna do videos probably throughout the holidays, so that I don't have to do like wake up on Christmas morning and be like, sorry fam, love you, but I gotta go cast some Starcraft for the YouTube boys. So I thought, yeah, let's get that out of the way. And that way, if you guys happen to have some downtime or whatever, or are trying to avoid awkward family dinners, and you happen to be wanting to watch some Starcraft or Alphastar or whatever, that is my gift to you. Now, Alphastar gonna micro its Reaper. Hasn't got a probe so far. Does get out though. That was not a complete wall for the Protoss player. Adept is pursuing a Reaper out of the base. And that gets shown the door now. Alphastar did indeed spot the Twilight Council though, which is good for Alphastar. We'll see what this cheesy Diamond Protoss is gonna do. Maybe it'll be DTs or something. So far, 1 gate blink though is the option. Now, personally, this is my favorite build in the world in StarCraft 2. I think it's just such a good way for Protoss to open up versus Terran, as blink is very, very powerful. The mobility it gives the Stalkers is really nice. And we'll see what this Diamond player's cooking up. The fact that he just threw up 2 more gateways makes me think it might be more on the aggressive side. Definitely not heavily on the macro side, as the 2 more gateways is a big, big change, as that's going to allow him to get a lot more Stalkers. The timing of the blink after the 1 gateway, this could be a little bit, this could have been a bit more of an aggressive play here from the Protoss, and it very well can be. We'll see if there's going to be more gateways on the way, maybe a robo to allow the Diamond Protoss player in order to, say, get an observer or something. But yeah, that blink on the way. These extra gateways going to finish up. Warp gate finished up. Could be seeing a potentially big blink all-in. Maybe we'll see another gateway or 2 get thrown down. For now, though, money going to be getting spent probably on another Stalker Warping, or the first Stalker Warping. There we go. And then we'll see where the Protoss player is going to take this from here. Personally, I'm a fan of this build just for the light pressure. And oh my gosh, Alphastar is totally derping right now. What is it doing? Is it going for a big attack? It's Alphastar. It's pulling the points. Okay, Alphastar was like, "Hey dog, I heard you were gonna come attack me, so I'm gonna come attack you." Now the Stalkers are moving out on the map, and this is actually gonna be really good for the Diamond Protoss player. Gonna start picking off these SCVs as they're crossing the map. The Stalkers can now micro here. Alphastar got a tank, got some SCVs with this, but I don't know how well this attack is going to work. It's not like a complete all-in, it's like a light poke, but this is just getting shut down so far. It would seem the Stalker's just going to work away on the Marines. They're going to focus fire that tank. The tank does attempt to be saved by Alphastar, but it wasn't done. Its micro was a little bit late there. The Marines are all going to die. The Medivac has died, and I think Alphastar is honestly just toast this game. Alphastar is donezo. As these Stalkers can counterattack, they're going to be able to get this tank without a doubt. Then there's not a lot back at home for Alphastar. If you're this Protoss player, you're warping in like another round of Stalkers if you can, and then you're just going to come and try and break this position. There is a siege tank up. The Protoss going to be moving in with his Stalkers. Blinks on top of the tank, going to get the tank. A lot of these Stalkers have died. They kind of start trying to run out, which is kind of questionable. I think they might have been better going in. They will get the Viking though, which is nice. More Stalkers grouping up with this, but it seems Alphastar might not have overcommitted enough to die. It did get up a bunker behind this. It traded out with a fair few of the Stalkers. Although, I mean, now there's an Immortal in with this army, and an Immortal can crack a bunker. An Immortal can add a lot of strength to a push. We'll see if the Protoss player is going to keep this push going. Instead, he elects to throw up a third Nexus, throw up a Forge, the more conservative approach. And maybe, just maybe, the Protoss will get to blink inside Alphastar's main base, though. Where's that Warp Prism he built? There it is. We'll see if the Protoss is still going to get some moves off this game. For now, though, it's just sitting back here. Keep in mind, this is a Diamond player, so we got to be more respectful with our reactions to how these players play. Like Alphastar playing at around a Diamond level right now, playing a Diamond player. So we are seeing a Diamond game. Charge is on the way, the very natural follow-up. So this Diamond player does seem to have a pretty good grasp on the meta. Now this Warp Prism's going to be moving forward. We'll see if he's just going to use this to blink inside the main. I personally am a big fan of the Protoss player just at least trying to poke into the main base of the Terran with the Blink Stalkers. Instead, though, this could just be for a big attack. Is there going to be a Warpin? Yes, there is. Looks like one Adept. That's a bit odd. And with Stimpack about to finish up, I don't know if the Protoss player should go for this attack. Alphastar has done its thing, in which it just macros behind, and all of a sudden, despite having a horrible start of an attack, Alphastar, up workers, up army supply, has Stimpack. I'm a little bit concerned if the Diamond player goes for the attack right now. He's gonna decide to go home, whilst Alphastar getting up +1 attack. The Diamond Protoss getting up Psystorm behind this, which is a very, very smart decision, I feel. I don't know, though. Like, I feel like it would have been better for the Diamond Protoss if he just blinked inside the main base. He would have pulled the bio back. Now, though, I mean, it's really just all about Alphastar probably going for an attack, if I had to guess. And that is the answer here. Psystorm on the way, but not yet done. How long do we have left to go on this? I can't actually see on this overlay. I'm guessing probably about like 20-30 seconds to go or so. This Protoss player, though, down on supply, really going to need this AoE to come back versus this much bio. The Warp Prism going to see this army. Alphastar kind of derps, stims its whole army after this Prism. Not going to get it because it gets distracted by the probe. Now Alphastar, though, still wants to keep pushing on in. The Protoss player on high alert. Alarm bells are ringing here as the Terran's going to be moving on in for the big attack. Psystorm is not yet done. It's just moments away here. The Immortals and Zealots and Stalkers are going to try and buy as much time as they can. Psystorm should be done soon. And with it finishing up, there's going to be 3 Psystorms, so there we go. But Alphastar is starting to pre-split its units. It's got the siege tanks to help dictate the fight, but oh, it does eat some pretty nasty storms there. The Terran player still looking to push on in, though. We'll see if this attack is going to work. There should be another Psystorm. There it goes. And then the third Psystorm gets dropped, but there's still a lot of Terran here moving forward. The Immortals are getting focused down by Alphastar. Alphastar getting some high-value pickoffs there, still with a lot of units behind this. Widow Mines in the ground to add more damage here. The Medivac sealing the single Marauder, who does get picked off. But more mine shots can go off, and the Protoss player has just lost a lot of units here. Where's Alphastar's reinforcements is the question. Alphastar decides to throw up a third, throws up a fusion core behind this, which is interesting. I'm guessing for Liberator range. And this is a bit of an odd situation here. Just some tanks and Widow Mines at this location. Oh, the Diamond player trying to flex his micro muscles here and dodge out those Widow Mine shots. But he just does get an observer out, and he's like, all right, that's gonna be good. The tank, though, fires away. Stalker gets picked off. Alphastar with reinforcements here, gonna bait the Protoss player into a fight. Widow Mine's getting their shots off. Alphastar taking this battle here. The Archon gets picked off. There's not a lot for the Protoss player. The Zealots are being kited right now. The tanks getting their shots up. A Psystorm drops there, but the Protoss army does melt, and it looks like Alphastar is going to tie up the Alphastar versus Humanity best of 3. So there we go, 1-1 each. I said best of 3 there. I meant best of 5. I'll be back with the next game here, as we've got at least 2 more to go. All right. Zerg players, enough. We hear your complaints. Here's a Zerg game for map number 3 in this best of 5. That's going to be Alphastar taking on Humanity once more. So, yeah, here we are. Alphastar going to be taking on a Masters Terran in a ZVT. And honestly, if I'm this Masters player right now, I'm going to be having myself a bad time, I feel, because Alphastar's Zerg seems to be pretty darn good. However, that being said, I have not cast, I believe it's mid-ranged Zerg play. I've cast its high-range Zerg play. But it's mid-ranged? I'm not too sure about that. We'll see how well it's going to play here. Taking on a Master's Terran. We'll see how this Terran player is going to try and take on Alphastar. Whether this game is going to be aggressive or not so aggressive. As that really is usually up to the Terran to dictate. Zergs can go for aggression, but Alphastar, while it can be aggressive, isn't super duper cheesy or anything like that. It's not above pulling the queens, though, sending in a ton of roaches, but as far as being like the aggressor in just any TVZ matchup, AI or not, it usually is the Terran that's the one who dictates the pace in the game. How much are they willing to macro versus try and kill the Zerg early on? We take a look here. Reaper on the way for the Masters player. Meanwhile, that command center on the way. So normal openings across the board here. As Alphastar gets its overlord moving. SCV going out, so probably for the factory. Standard Hellion opening, if I had to guess, for the Terran. Which is good to see. If you're a Masters player, or around that level, you generally want to try and play the more normal builds. It's the best way to improve your overall skill. You can definitely get to Grandmaster by cheesing and stuff. Hey, you might even be able to win a few tournaments if you're certain pro players or something like that. Hass. But you never know. So we'll just see. Reaper moves on in for the Masters player. Working away on them Lings. Doing pretty good micros so far. Alphastar loses one Ling, but the Queen's going to pop out. The Masters Terran gets away with that Reaper. Oh, no, is he going to lose it? Oh, let me tell you, not losing the Reaper is pretty hard to macro and micro. Of course, it goes both ways. The Zerg has to micro pretty good to defend the Reaper and not lose too many drones or anything. Alphastar has a few Lings hanging out. The Terran's Reaper is moving towards the third. Might intercept this drone. We shall see. It looks like that hatchery is going to get blocked. Alphastar tries to save the drone and does so successfully at that extractor. Unfortunately, now this drone is caught in purgatory pretty much, in which it basically has to just keep staying in permanent blob form, or else the Reaper will kill it. The Ling's going to come in, try and save the day. How well does the Masters Terran micro this? So far, able to block the hatchery. Does he get the drone? Yes, he does. That's real nice. Can the Reaper stay alive, though? It's going to be close. The Lings are going to get the Reaper, I feel, but no, Alphastar turns around. That Reaper was like one hit away from death. I don't really know why Alphastar abandoned the attack. Meanwhile, for this Masters player, there's going to be a Raven on the way, Hellions on the way, and then a Tech Lab on the way behind this. That's a really curious play. The Raven can be used for clearing creep, but it's usually too big of an investment into the Tech Lab, which is why we don't see it in a lot of pro games necessarily, and the build time and the gas and everything else. But we'll see what else this Terran player is going to go for. A third command center is a natural follow-up to something like this. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Mass Raven Turtle 200-200 versus Zerg. But we take a look here. Alphastar just playing pretty normally. More factories are moving on up for the Masters player. Going to be getting these up behind the third command center. We'll see what Alphastar is cooking up as well. It has identified the third command center. The Overlord died to an auto turret, so the energy is gone for the Raven, but it's still going to be able to provide the vision in order to clean up this creep. English is hard sometimes. Raven's still just about. And more Hellions on the way, which is kind of curious. We'll see what tech the Masters player is going to go into using this extra factory production. But we shall see. This Roach Warren on the way here. Double Evo on the way for Alphastar. All the while, these Hellions going to be frying up these tumors. Going to deny the creep there of Alphastar. Alphastar, fortunately, doesn't get frustrated because losing your creep and having to replace it is a big pain. Now, Alphastar, though, just throwing up 1-1 on the way. While Cyclones are out for the Masters player, or on the way out. Armories as well. So Hellion, Hellbat, Cyclone, whatever you want to call it. This style going to be the tech of choice from the Terran. Blue Flame behind this as well, but Roaches generally are just the answer to this composition. I mean, Cyclones so rarely take efficient trades. If a Terran is going to play this heavy macro style, it pretty much is usually just exclusive to, oh, that Raven almost goes down, by the way. It's usually pretty much exclusive to when they are just on a very good economy compared to the Zerg. Like, you got to keep bases, keep par bases with the Zerg. You basically have to play Terran like Zerg, just overwhelming numbers of Hellion Cyclones. So the macro of this Masters player is pretty important, but the fact that he's only on 43 SCVs is a little bit concerning to me. You need a huge economy in order to produce enough Hellion Cyclone to trade out against a Zerg who's just making Roaches. In theory, you can microcyclones perfectly in order to pull back versus the Roaches and the Ravagers, but in practicality, that is not the case. And right now, if we take a look at what Alphastar's cooking up, it's making Roaches, it's making Ravagers. The Queens are starting to wander across the map. We're going to see Alphastar's most lethal build as it's going to be pushing towards the Master player's base. Oh man, these Roaches and Queens going to be moving across the map there. This Terran player right now has to be saying, Rutro, why are the Queens out on the map? That's always a bad sign if you're the Terran. These Hellions and Cyclones are out there. They're like, boss, what do we do? We're kind of locked away from home. So these Cyclones rallying to their death. Looks like a siege tank on the way, but it's a little bit too late, I feel. The triple factory production is not enough. So we're going to see a bit of a counterattack here from the Terran player, but as far as shutting down Alphastar's production, as far as getting basically a kill blow, I don't know if he's going to be able to make this happen. The Hellions are picking off some of the Roaches, but the attack on the other side of the map has breached the production, and for the Terran, this is going to be a real bad time. The Cyclone's going to get one of the Roaches, probably. Congrats, but there's a lot more to go. There's 14 more Roaches on the map. There's Queens, there's Ravagers. The tank pops out to its death. And this army will be cleaned up here by the Queens coming back home. And with that, Alphastar just does its lethal attack as per the usual. This is the best build the Zerg has, it seems. It's willing to do it pretty much any time, as it really likes its timing attacks, and it's going to get itself a W here. So I will update that as the Masters player is going to drop Mules because he's like, I still got a chance, right? In reality, no. He's down to 7 supply, and Alphastar is going to have to, or is going to take another one. So I'm going to load on into the next game here. What could be the final one if Alphastar is going to win the first best of 5 I cast on this channel with Alphastar games? And I'll be back in just a sec here. All right, here we are. It could potentially be the final game of this best of 5. It's Alphastar. Going to be playing Zerg once again this game. This time, instead of versus Terran, it's going to be taking on a Masters Protoss, which is always fun, who has, by the way, already delayed his first pylon. Okay. This is already bizarre here, as Alphastar is going to be facing a cheeser, I feel like. What is this Protoss player doing? He queued up his pylon across the map instead of actually just building it up. Now he's going to bank minerals. Oh gosh, this is so weird. Alphastar is going to be getting cheesed, potentially done dirty here by the Protoss. This is just going to be like 2-3 gateways off the back of the one pylon. Oh man, he's banked up 400 minerals. He can build like 3 gateways right now. 1, 2, 3 gates. Okay, it's going to be a Zealot proxy. Oh my gosh. What is this? What year is this? It's been so long since I've seen like a mass proxy gateway build. And we're going to be seeing just that. Okay, 4 gates. Proxy 4 gates versus Alphastar. Alright, GLHF, buddy. We'll see how well this Protoss player is going to, his play is going to work out, whether this is truly a big brain play or not. Alphastar has sent the Overlord forward, but it hasn't actually spotted the gateways. It was so close, but it just didn't. And soon enough, there's going to be like 4 gateways just right outside the Zerg's base, thanks to this Masters Protoss player just not building a single probe outside the first one. And this is actually like a crazy build here. I don't know if this is like a next level cheese or what, as there's gonna be 4 zealots outside this base. The sheer timing of this is 4 zealots by the 2-minute mark. Oh my gosh, I want to try this on ladder versus Zerg. This is actually just nuts. Like, even if the Zerg spotted this or something, like, how do you even stop this in time? He literally just hugged the pylon with gateways so that it couldn't be killed off either. There we go, 4 zealots are out. There's gonna be more on the way behind this, and oh man, Alphastar is gonna have itself a real bad time right now. We'll see if the drones are gonna have to be pulled to help fight this. Lings are starting to pop on out, but they aren't going to be able to get the pylon to depower these gates. The zealots are now in the main base, so the drones are running, but they ain't mining at all. And as soon as there's 8 zealots, that problem becomes, you did the math, twice as big. There we go, more zealots popping on out. This Alphastar just getting the heck cheesed out of it. The zealots engage a little bit early, I feel, fighting without the extra other zealots right now, but Alphastar still going to have to clean up the rest of these as they're now joining into the fray. 4 more zealots has popped forward. Okay, did this big brain cheese just fall flat on its face? It potentially could have. The zealots are putting up a fight, but okay. Did Alphastar hold? It looks like Alphastar did hold. And never mind, I'm not going to try this build on the ladder here. It seemed like a pretty smart one at the time, but the answer to that was a nope. Just the mass ling positioning. I think maybe if the Protoss player fought with all 8 zealots instead of the 4, or maybe positioned a little bit different, it would have been better, but it just ain't. I don't know what this Protoss player can do. Alphastar just making lings for days. Well, obviously outpower the 4 gateways here, I feel. The queens are going to help out. The speed is done, so these zealots going to have themselves a tough go at it as one of them gets surrounded. Another is attacked a little bit, but these lings can also just always go across the map too. And that is not a situation that I think goes well for the Protoss either. More and more zealots on the way. I mean, you gotta give it to this Protoss player. Try and try again if at first you do not succeed. But these lings are gonna cross the map, so they're gonna be getting towards this location here. Say goodbye to the income for the Masters Protoss. It's gonna be time for these zealots to go. Wait, he actually just recalls 3 of the zealots. Oh my gosh. I don't think you can macro out of this one, so I don't think defending his main's too important. I don't even know if this was enough zealots. No, it wasn't. So these zealots gonna have to have the probes pulled to defend them, and it's just not enough here for the Masters Protoss. I don't think, right? Like, you can give it to him for trying. I think his moment would have been to go with these 3 zealots when all the lings were across the map, and then maybe he could have done it. For now, though, he's still just building a few more zealots. But yeah, he's toast. The probes have been pulled. They're not mining. His zealot production is falling, and he's gonna go for it. Here's the last hurrah. They're engaging the lings. They're engaging the queens, but the queens tanking too much. The zealots have been split up, and I think that's gonna be it. I think Alphastar has actually just won this best of 5. 3-1 versus humanity. Not bad. Versus a crazy cheese at the end. But yeah, well done by Alphastar, as just reacted perfectly to this cheese. I still kind of want to try this on ladder, but alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this game, if you enjoyed this series, do press that like button. If you're new to the channel, join one of the 5,000 other subscribers by pressing that subscribe button. And big thanks to everyone who has been subscribing, who has been liking lately. I know you've really enjoyed the Alphastar videos, but I do put out a lot of other content too. And so, if you enjoy that, check it out. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. This has been LaughNgamez.